My name is Kyle Epps. I am born and raised Richmond, Virginia. I see I'm VCU graduate and a longtime artist in the area for about 20 years. Richmond has, 1600s or something it was established. It's been part of all of the current times of American history. So it is about being part of a legacy of in many different ways you look at it. The rebirth of Richmond would be unity, would be people without if we could rebirth Richmond, it would be without all the history that we've had related to it prior to, 1950s or something like that. If we could get rid of all our divisive history and focus on all the things that brought us together, uh, that would be great. I'm not gonna, and I don't want to say forget about it, but let's not let that be the forefront of our discussions and our thoughts. Let's that be our past, and let our past be our past and our future really be our future. That's what I would like to see Richmond be. Best thing I always say is I'm an artist first, my father second or a parent second, and then all the other titles kind of come after that. After many jobs not working out with careers, but no, more specifically, after working with people, working with managers, presidents, CEOs, talking to different types of people, I, I felt more camaraderie with those that were working to build business, working to move the country forward, and just kind of continue to expand in the American dream, all those concepts. So it was about doing something for myself, my family, and yeah, living a good life. Honestly, rich city, rich mind. Rakim came here, did a performance years ago, and renamed this. Came the idea of Rich Mind instead of Richmond, just changing the letter, and that was something that I played around with as a kid. And hearing him say that gave it even more validity to me. A community is key for business for that because you're dealing with a lot of Richmond is local. There's a lot of small business, so community is a big part of what we need to advertise, what we would need to develop, and even at that, even beyond that, community helps us when we aren't as stable as we like to be. And that is part of the growth process as much as a business is a entity as a person is. So it's very important. The first step of believing in yourself to doing all the paperwork, all the things that, for me, I wasn't trained or reared in. It was, to make a long story short, it was a process that my whole family joined me on because it was the first time anybody had done that, shooting multiple generations in my family. So just that action was major. It was scary. We didn't government and all sorts of concepts of dealing with the unknown. I mean, I had business schooling and other background, but it wasn't until you actually do it and you get experience that you really gain. So, with all that, it was about, yeah, just growing and developing. 20 years, it's been a while. In my experience from me being around, I see it changing constantly. From teachers in the classroom to those in the public view and being in the audience to us doing the video currently. Even that is the efforts to change the narrative. Many parts of the narrative aren't true or hadn't been true, or they're an isolated part of a community. And as you start to show the spectrum of a group, then you'll get more understanding of them, and that's really important. Let's say first, let's open people's minds and let's get rid of all the guards or fears that exist in people, which is silly to say, but there's narratives that don't need to exist. I mean, honestly, I wish we had good news and bad news versus just the news. My goal is to grow community, is to develop artists so that they're professional. Just increase professionalism in the area. There's a diversity to increase the marketability of Richmond in the area. There's a lot that can be shared. There's a lot of things that are interest to people outside of the area, but are they accessible? Are they easy to enjoy? Is it comfortable? Those are all things that still need to be worked out. My current business, so more than one business. I have my name myself incorporated as an artist. I also have a separate business managing my merchandise sales and the sales of other artists and their work, and that's enough, honestly, for me right now. But in that was a whole path of work and understanding, just seeing what was needed and required. So my business as a fine artist is simply my work creating art for the public, as is demanded. My merchandise sales, separate from that, is then the resale of that work to expand its notoriety, its understanding, and its value. Through studying other artists of the current era, I learned that the best way to increase your value or to show that you are valuable when people may not see it is to simply show them that you're valuable. So as sales went up, people could not deny that I had value. My work was something. It wasn't just people saying it's nice. They were buying prints and doing other aspects of it. So that helped increase the value. To backtrack that, just to give real context to a child, though, it would be I sold my first piece when I was like 7 years old, or I had my first piece of art sold, and it was a drawing of the Roadrunner. And it wasn't anything special, but for a kid in class to pull out $20, $40 when you're talking 1990 or something like that and try to buy, I mean, that says something. So my next piece was in high school, and it was some chair, and a teacher or somebody from central office, somebody probably important, came and said I had to buy this in the Center for the Arts show. I spent most of my time studying art all the way until I went to college because I was told that I needed to do something successful. So it was be an engineer or be a doctor, and I studied those fields for a while. And I just did everything that I was told to do until I couldn't, and you find your way. And so to anybody really wanting to be, everything is useful. Like I use all my engineering background, I use my business background, I use my sociology, I use all of my studies to for what I do now. And it just all those tasks make me uniquely me, which is the beauty of being human. If I had it 30 years ago, yeah, I would have probably incorporated when I was 11, 12 years old or something like that. And just been building myself up in youth, and when I had an opportunity and parents over my head and more comfort. Um, to say the accessibility of it personally was extremely accessible. I couldn't even say the word privilege, but I was informed, like through business school. I was told about the opportunities. I was told that there are programs that exist to build you up and to show you how. And even now, currently in Richmond City, they'll take you straight through the entire business program. You could probably do it without even knowing how to read. They'll just hit this button, do this, and tell you how to do The accessibility is there, but the knowledge and the understanding, like I said, like as I was mentioning previously, fear, or even like there's so many other mental barriers that are hindering people in this area more than anything. And who knows? I could go down residual impacts of history, but I mean, come on now. Honestly, I think Richmond could advertise Richmond and like sell our. I don't want to say sell it to other places, but like New York City pushes New York to everywhere. Like New York City is great, the Big Apple, this, and Richmond could do the same thing and be for lovers or be for whatever and conscious and smart branding could happen for it. It could be that. It could be Richmond for Europe. It could be this place for other places that, and like as art could attract that, could easily be a part of it because we have the largest silver collection in the United States at the VMFA. We have some important things in the area that people don't even know about, and if they knew about them, it definitely would continue to bring people in. We have a lot of culture here, a lot of culture. Like as a business person, I know, my sales did well during festival seasons, and that helped me bring. I met tons of people from Florida last year during the strange time during winter. People from Florida were up here, and they were purchasing and buying, and they were like, "Come down, so I can get your larger pieces. I just can't ship it. I know how much it costs to ship a piece." And there's other avenues, but Richmond is doing things. It's always had an opportunity. I mean, we had Fifth Street Market back in the day, and that was a destination for people and vendors for a period of time. Even we've had the convention center. Oh, we do have the convention center. I'm thinking about the old one that we had years ago, like that. As long, but yeah, but I remember that convention center was for vendors and for markets. And what was it? Arthur Ashe Center was a major part. That could don't want to say they developed things, but I mean, there's opportunity here. There's space here. We have space to do things here too. We can be very smart about our development and what we do. And I look forward to seeing what's going to happen. Rich in the next 10 years, they will have the greatest artists ever in the United States. No, I don't know. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. But no, seriously, on a more conscious note, we're going to continue to expand. We're going to continue to develop. I would love to see conscious, considerate development, not only with the land, because if you go over to the West Coast, you'll see how they've developed, and there's this whole history of the USDA developing land and forestry on how to do things with consideration to the population and nature. I would like to see less division, less choices to find. Like people, it's almost like you have to find a reason to be divisive now when there's so many other things to look at that bring us together. We have so many things that we all share interests in, and instead of labeling those as for a specific group, we can just enjoy it. And I would like to see more just in unified enjoyment and less just continue to see these barriers that we've had for years continue to come down with because we're doing that. And I'm just in 10 years, maybe it'll be a great future for my children, other people's children. I'm always there for the kids. I'll probably be visiting a school or something for somebody fairly soon. Uh, Best way, email KyleMEpps.com. Like my name, that's that. You can type it in and you can contact me through that very easily. Instagram is the
Yep.
same thing. Yeah, I don't know no secret names. I keep my same name. Even did that through my rap career. Pretty much had the same name. Yeah, try to keep it very level.